Are we live? Yeah. Hey guys, I'm here with Coach Walker. Coach Walker, how are you feeling about this nice weather?
Well, it's great. We've had rain and cold for the last 2 days, so it's nice to be outside. Sun's out, the wind's died down, so it's a beautiful night for baseball.
How are we feeling about tonight's conference game?
Well, I mean, every opponent that we play, you've got to bring your best. So it's a tough conference. It's the toughest there is. So it's another opportunity for us to stay ahead of the pack, and that's what we need to do.
Tell us a little bit about your starting pitcher of the night.
Jacob Ham's been throwing the ball really well for us, and it's been huge because we've had a bunch of injuries, and so he stepped up and become the number one. So look for him to have another good outing. We need him to. We're thin, so he's got good stuff, and he'll go out there and compete for us.
Thank you so much. Go War Eagles.
In the middle of a railroad track. Hey, we're here.
Hey, we're all back
in
together.
Baseball. We're back together. We got the band back together. A couple Diet Dr. Peppers and some 70-degree weather in Bentonville West and Heritage High. And here we go. 5 o'clock, 6A West Conference matchup between two of the league's best. James, what do you think about tonight's matchup?
Oh, it's going to be a good one. I mean, like anything with the 6A West Conference, up around here, it go either way, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a battle.
Bentonville West comes in today 8-5 overall, 5-3 in the league. 2 wins over Southside. They split with Northside. Bentonville beat them, took 2, but they took 2 from Springdale for 5-3. But Heritage comes in here at top of the league at 5-1. They split Harbor and then swept both Springdale and Southside. So a big matchup today, James, in the 6A West.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. I'm just glad to have you back.
Amen, brother.
We haven't been together since spring break.
That's exactly right. So Bentonville West is going to start with Caden Jacobs at shortstop leading off. Eli Nestor is going to be the left fielder batting second. Jackson Vieira is going to bat third and be the first baseman. Harrison Vincent, the center fielder, bats fourth. Damian Bridgman, the third baseman, bats fifth. Jeremiah Jones, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Seventh is Gavin Gibson, number 21. Johnny, help me out here. Johnny M, we're going to call him.
Yeah, we'll just go with Johnny M.
Johnny M is going to be their DH, and Levi Diggs is going to be their catcher.
And then
Number
William
6.
Geiger will be on the bump for him.
William Geiger, very good.
Number 17.
Awesome. And James, go ahead and give us the Heritage starters
All
and
right.
get ready for baseball.
As always, we got Cooper Mann leading off, our trustworthy center fielder out there, followed by Joe Walker. Good trusty glove there at second base. Then number 20, Boston Graber in left field. Then batting cleanup is number 27, the big first baseman, JoJo Martinez.
JoJo.
Then batting fifth is number 23, Ronnie Marte Acosta as DH. Then batting sixth, number 6, Eastern Royal. He'll be at short as always. Then batting seventh is number 5, Jacob Ham. He'll be on the bump. Followed up by number 10, Wyatt Easley. He'll be at third base. Number 2, Thatch Dover will be batting ninth, and he'll be behind the dish. And our designated fielder for the evening is number 9, Jacob Lees, and he'll be in right.
Very good, and we're getting ready for baseball. They're lining up on the baselines. The coaches are meeting at home plate, and we're going to get ready to sing the national anthem. And with that, we'll take a short break.
Yep.
I look
All right, Tom, it's time to play some baseball.
Here we go. And we're going to call the pitcher by his correct first name tonight, Jacob Ham. Jacob Ham's going to start out for the War Eagles on the bump, as you guys call it, or the pitching plate. Or he's going to be our starting pitcher tonight. And we're going to start with West and their leadoff batter, Caden Jacobs, their shortstop. Eli Nestor will bat second, and Jackson Vieira will be their first baseman. I hope I got that right. Been a quick turnaround from basketball off season to the baseball field, but here we are and we're ready to go.
You know, and it's another busy night here on the Heritage campus. We got, of course, Heritage baseball going on. We got a middle school track meet. I mean, there's cars parked everywhere.
You know, other than maybe coaching cheer and pom, middle school track might be the most difficult job in the district, especially on track meet day. You hear the first call, 7th grade long jump, and you're just wondering if all those guys are going to make it. So, anyway, James, tell us a little bit about what's been going on here. I've been out for a week or so. What happened last week?
We had a good rubber match with Segment, Missouri. Unfortunately, we took the loss on that one, 4-2. But in that game also, there was some controversial calls that were missed in the very first inning. A bunt that was put down, hit off one of the Segment batters, hit him twice actually before it hit the ground. Should have been out. Home plate umpire said didn't see it.
Didn't see it.
And then Riley Templin was pitching. He picked the kid off at first, and again didn't see it. He was safe. Just some questionable calls. Real tight zone. His zone was all over the place. Sometimes he'd call the outside corner. Sometimes he wouldn't.
I gotcha. So we call those a canoe zone. They keep floating around all over. But with that, Caden Jacobs steps in for West. Ham the delivery, and he's going to take the first pitch down past Easley at third, and that's going to be a long single for Jacobs, and he's going to lead off with a one-banger. First pitch, base hit.
Yeah. Boston got over there quickly, got it back in, and hold him to that single. See if we can get another ground ball here with Eli Nestor stepping in for West.
Nestor, a center fielder. He squares, and he's going to take a strike, so it's going to get ahead in the count. 0-1.
But one thing we've learned with watching over all the games with Jacob, he seems to get a little bit more comfortable when there's base runners on.
It's crazy. Some guys just, when they calm down a little bit and get out of maybe a windup, and I wasn't watching close enough to see if that's where he began, but in the stretch, there's a throw over to Martinez at first, but Jacobs is back safely. Beautiful day. I mean, after, I thought I saw Noel go by with, pairing them up.
That was a lot of rain.
It's a lot of rain over the last 3 or 4 days. But a beautiful day today, and there's a fly ball out to Lease in right field. He's ranging over there, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Jacobs will remain at first base.
Now, Jonathan Vieira will step up for West here.
And it is Jonathan.
Yeah,
Vieira. I think I called him Jackson. Jonathan Vieira. First baseman. Again, one out here in the top of the first. There's a fastball, strike on the outside part. He's got a little movement there, running it back in there across the outside corner to a right-handed hitter. Fastball up, but Vieira's going to take a whack at it. He's going to be down 0-2, so Ham kind of settling down after the first pitch, base hit by Jacobs.
Yeah, definitely settling in. I mean, he's hammering the zone right now.
Fastball out.
That's what we call a good miss. See if you can get him to chase it.
He did. I think that's a good idea there early. Count 1 and 2. A lot of fastballs early here and there's a breaking ball. A little bit up.
And everybody, booing because, I think that's Poncho. It's the umpire, the field umpire today with Dennis behind the plate.
There's a drive out to left field or right field. That's going to get down in front of Lease. Ball comes in quickly to Royal. Runners at first and second for West. Vieira singles to right field.
What I was saying is, on a check swing, that's hard for him to tell out there if it came across or broke the plane.
Yeah, and so in steps Harrison Vinson, center. Where's Vinson play?
Center field.
Center field. And Nestor was the left fielder.
Yep.
So I had that mixed up. Throw back at Jacobs. Royal takes the throw, but he's in there safely. So runners at first and second with one out here in the top of the first. West has struck twice with two singles, one to left field, one to right field. And that ball's going to get away from Dover, and both runners will move up. A costly pass ball there for Heritage, putting two runners in scoring position. And taking the double play out of.
Yep. That's all right.
Heritage.
Probably see the corners playing in. We'll see if Coach Walker moves them up.
It looks like they're going to play for one up the middle, but they're going to try and hold that runner at third on the corners. And the bunt is down, and he's out at first, and the runner stays at third. So the cleanup hitter tries to bunt his way on, and he's out, I believe, 1-3 for the second out.
Yeah, I think he, good job on Easley and Jacob. Jacob pounced off the mound quickly, got it over there, did his job. Jacob's back at third and Ford firing across.
Yeah, it's a nice play by the War Eagles. And now two outs, and Damian Bridgman, third baseman for West, steps in. Opportunity here for the Wolverines to cash in early, and there's a fastball for a strike on the outside part. Bridgman, number 28, swings from the right side. Outfield for Heritage looks like they're playing slightly toward the right field side. Ball out, breaking ball out. Well, James, what do you think? There's a lot of philosophies on playing your outfield. Some coaches play them in to take the base hits away. Some play them back to keep them from giving up doubles. I mean, what's your thought on that?
Right here, you just want to play to limit the damage. Like if there was a base hit, you limit it and maybe only get one run across versus the guy at second.
Early in the game,
Yeah.
You're playing a little more conservative. Infield is back here with two outs. Easily even at third base. And there's a ball low. It's going to make the count 3-1 to Bridgman. First base is open. And I guess you never want to add base runners early in the game, but surely you wouldn't want to give in with a base open.
It'd be nice to see, Jacob come back here.
And ball 4 just missed. So Bridges is on with a walk, and that loads the bases here in the first inning.
Jacob's starting to live in the bottom part of that zone, and I think it's barely missing on some of those.
Right fielder Jeremiah Jones steps in for West. No place to put him. That's what my old baseball coach would say. Come on, Olson, there's no place to put him. The bases are loaded. And there's a ball out, looked like a fastball. Walker's going to take a mound visit. And with that, we'll take a short break. Hey, we're back here after the mound visit. Some encouragement there by one Coach Brian Walker to one Jacob Ham here with a 1-0 count and the bases loaded. Jeremiah Jones for West up. There are two outs. And a beautiful fastball on the outside part to even the count 1-1.
You know, that always makes you happy as a coach. You go out there, talk to your pitcher, and then he comes back and dots one on the outside corner for a strike.
Exactly. Makes you look really smart, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what we always say. Good players make smart coaches. And there's a ball, though, 2-1. And Jacob Ham has had some success there on the outside part. He's just been missing down and a little bit out. I think he's going to get that straightened out here before this one's over. And there's a fastball beauty on the outside part, even in the count 2-2. So it's 2-2 with 2 outs, the top of the first. And that's fouled off of Jones' foot, and he
kind of felt that one.
He was wishing he had that shin guard a little bit
higher.
A little higher.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Whenever you fell it off and you got the gear on, but it misses. It just misses it.
Yeah, that hit just above on his left foot. He's got it. And guys just have tendencies of knocking the ball off their shoes and off their shins, and so the count remains 2-2. And there's a little bouncer toward Easley at third, and they're going to call him safe at first. That's going to score.
I don't know about that one. That was a close play.
A slow roller, and Easley did a nice job and made a nice throw to JoJo Martinez. But Jeremiah Jones is going to beat that out. We're going to call that a single. And that's going to score Caden Jacobs and give West a 1-run lead here at in the top of the first. Second baseman Gavin Gibson steps in with 2 outs. Fastball on the inside part is a strike. So just to get out of here with 1 run would be a big victory. Bases are loaded.
That take a little time. Joe Walker out there to tie a shoe.
Yeah, well, that's always good. You got to have your shoes tied. I mean,
yeah. If not, that could be bad problems.
I got the Wrigley vision over here of Joe Walker at second base. There's a post right in my way.
Yeah, I'm fighting the medium for the window.
That's a strike on the inside part. So 0-2. Jacob would reach in here and pull the string on one here and get us out of the inning. And a foul ball.
You barely got that one.
Gibson, the second baseman. Kind of a check swing off the handle. He's lucky it's 65 degrees outside, or his hands might be vibrating. Of course, with the new technology bats, they don't get to feel that.
It looks like he's wearing some cattleman gloves.
He does. He must be used to. And a fastball on the outside park is going to strike him out. So Ham's going to get out of it, but just giving up 1 run with 3 hits and an infield hit by Jeremiah Jones driving in Caden Jacobs. West is going to leave the top of the first with a 1-0 lead. We'll take a break.
I look round
we're back, and Cooper Mann steps in. The center fielder is going to lead off for Heritage. William Geiger will start on the bump for West. Joe Walker is on deck. And there's a foul ball right at us for strike one for Cooper. So on the break here, we have an easier name than William Geiger.
We call when I used to coach him, we called him Squiddy.
Squiddy. Okay, that's easier.
That was a name that the team came up with, and it stuck ever since. And
okay. Well, I'm going to stay with William here. And Cooper takes a swing and a miss at a curveball there. He's down quickly 0-2. Looks like he left that one a little bit up for breaking ball was up, so a 1-2 count. Cooper Mann is center fielder and just a fixture in the leadoff position this season. And a breaking ball is fouled down the right field line. That's going to get out of play there in Souvenir Alley, we call it, right? Here at
Matt Murray Stadium,
Matt Murray
Walker Field.
Ooh, and a fastball is going to catch the inside part. Their questionable call, and Cooper Mann is going to go down on strikes. The old one you don't want to see, the backwards K for the first out.
Yeah, that looked a little bit in.
And it might have been, I might have miscalled it. It might have been some kind of breaking ball that broke back in, but I think Cooper thought that one was inside. And anyway, with that, it's going to be out number one. And Joe Walker is going to take a fastball in the outside part for strike one. Walker, a lefty. Strange resemblance to the head coach's last name, spelled the same and everything.
Yeah, weird.
You'd like to see
and what's even more weird is you would see him, sometimes they might argue like father and son.
Yeah, there you go. That's what happens. So Walker is going to take one on the outside part, and Joe's going to think that one was out. So he's going to get in a little bit closer on the plate for this one. And he's going to put one there in between short and third and a long throw, and they're not going to have a chance. That's going to be a base hit for Joe Walker.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a nice try by Caden Jacobs. I mean, he's trying to mimic Jeter, I guess.
Yeah, you got to have a cannon over there to pull that one off.
Arm.
And Walker's going to be on with an infield base hit between the third baseman and the shortstop, bringing up Boston Graber. Graber playing left field tonight. Going to throw over.
Joe back in safely.
Geiger. And the fastball there for a strike. Won the count on Boston. Boston's going to put a charge one into the gap. That's going to get down. Walker on his way to third. He's going to score after the center fielder for West literally boots it. Graber's going to end up at second base. And Joe Walker will score, making it 1-0. And the ball was in the gap. And
see, I just happened to get your shot of the pole, so I can't really see what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the right guy. Jeremiah Jones, the right fielder, was tracking it, and it just kind of got down and then got under his glove, and he gave it a kick. And that was just enough for Joe Walker to round third and score. So he scores from first base on the extra base hit by Graber, and now we're tied 1-1. Martinez up.
This is one guy that we need to really like to see his bat get going.
I think Walker might have some added little incentive for this one. Isn't he a one-time Bentonville West student?
Maybe. I don't know. I've only known him as a War Eagle.
There you go. So he's going to take the first one for a ball, and then off-speed pitch there in the outside park, and JoJo is going to swing through it.
Geiger's he's definitely doing a good mix of fastballs and curveballs. And
I think you'd have to really take a good look at him to really see what that ball is spinning like. Breaking ball down and away. Martinez 2-1 here. It'd be nice to, as my wife would say, let's just trade places with that guy at second. Throw comes back to second to Gibson. Graber's back easy. Martinez pops that one up. It is in the sun. Second baseman Gibson is going to take it for the second out. And that brings in Mr. Ronnie Acosta.
Yeah, that is one thing. Last week he did hit a home run right over the left center fence. It was one of those that you knew it off the bat.
Yeah, Acosta DHing today, and just by the looks of him and the way he walks around campus, you would think he could hit a home run or tackle the quarterback or dunk the basketball, however you want to say it. He's a big lad.
Believe it or not, when we were in Alabama, one of the teams we were playing actually had a guy that made Ronnie look average size.
And there you go.
He's a big boy.
Acosta is going to swing through the first breaking ball for strike one. And I think you would see a lot of breaking balls when you have that kind of size and stature in the home plate. There's another breaking ball, but this one's going to be a ball.
I mean, it's like, Driggs, the catcher for West, his head comes up to Ronnie's shoulder.
Yeah.
Whenever he just walked past him.
Yeah. Yeah, so Acosta, a big boy. 1-1 to count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And that breaking ball is going to stay inside for ball 2. Something moving here for Heritage. 2-1. Geiger the pitch. The fastball is going to catch the outside part for strike 2. 2-2 with 2 outs. Lots of 2s on the board. That ball's outside, fastball out, and that's going to make the count full. Acosta has done a really nice job here, seeing a lot of pitches. I never liked it when the kid is shaking off the catcher. And that fastball is going to be right in there for strike 3. But the War Eagles are going to get one back, and they're going to tie the score on Boston Graber's double. And Walker scores from first with an error in the outfield. And that's going to end the first 1-1 Heritage West. We're back here in the top of the second. Johnny M, we're going to call it. It's a last name that I'm not talented enough to pronounce, but Johnny is their designated hitter. And Ham, first pitch is going to be just over the top, and Royal is going to airmail one over to first base, but he's going to be safe. Nice try by Easton Royal, but I always hate that in athletics when somebody says nice try.
Yeah.
It usually means it was unsuccessful.
Or was that, Easton coming back after, Jacobs tried that,
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, hang on, I can do that too.
I can do that too. That's right. So Gavin Gibson is going to be on with a base hit. I'm sorry, yeah. And this is Johnny. Am I on my one off?
Nope, this is Levi Driggs.
Okay.
Gibson,
Gibson
grounded out.
Yeah, he made the last out. We're just going to call it out. And Johnny M is there with a single, and now he's at second.
On a pass ball.
We're just not talented enough to keep score and announce at the same time. Levi Driggs, the catcher, is up for West. Martinez is thinking bunt. The breaking ball is a strike on the outside part. So what did Gavin Gibson do at the end of the first?
I think he grounded out.
Okay. We're going to just say Gio. So a runner at second here with nobody out. And there's a ground ball at Royal. That could be a tough play. He's going to decide to go to third. And the tag is going to be late.
Coach Walker's going to go out there and have a talk about that one.
So Walker's taking a slow walk out there to ask a question to the ball was there in time. We got an instant replay. I mean, yeah. Jerry, we got something. Can we take another look at this?
Here it is. Oh.
I mean, I think that's the only play that Easton had with the ball was to his right side, and to throw a guy out at first from there would have been hard. He chose to go to third, which was a good play, and then the runner was in under the tag. So there's the play, and it's going to be hard to see in the shade. But from that angle, that looked like the tag was up there around his head level. So,
and we're going to have a courtesy runner at first for the catcher, Driggs. It'll be number 10, Eli Brown.
So Eli Brown is in the pinch run. Driggs is on with a fielder's choice. Runners at first and third here. Nobody out. Top of the second. And there's a ground ball at Royal, and he's nothing hit very hard here, James. Johnny M, the DH, is going to score. Levi Driggs is going to move to second. And Jacobs, who walked and scored in the first inning, is going to be on with a single. But again, that ball was off the handle and just in the right place. So with runners in first and second here with nobody out and one run across for West. Royal holding the runner at second. Eli Nestor is showing bunt. Lots of things going on here, James, with runners on first and second and nobody out, and a guy that can bunt the ball up. So who's crashing and who's dashing?
That's the question.
Who's holding? And a lot of times just a move to second base can kind of tip the hand of what's going on. And he's going to pull it back in another little squibber, and he's going to be safe at first. West is going to put three guys on, and they're going to score a run already in the first inning, and they have not even come close to squaring up the ball.
Coach Walker's going to go back out there and talk to Jacob.
Jacob's doing an outstanding job. The balls they're hitting are just swinging bunts, as we used to call them.
Yeah, nothing hit real hard. I think the hardest hit ball that they've had was that fly out to Jacob Lee's out there in right field.
Yeah. But as you know, the old baseball coaches would say, you put it in play and good things happen. And that's what's been happening for West. They've got the lead here, 2-1. They've had what one might say 2 hits this inning. And Walker's going to have a little timeout. James, what do you do here? I mean, with that as, are you adjust the way you're playing your infield, or we're going to start calling different pitches? What are your thoughts there when it just doesn't seem like we can get somebody out and all they do is hit little bleeders?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing JoJo and Easley playing on the grass and still keep Walker and Easton back trying to turn a double play.
Right, you just play in on the corners more so is what you're saying.
Yeah. Trying to keep that run, if you can only get one out, let's get him at home.
Yeah.
If you can get a roll double play, okay.
Yeah. All right, they're in double play depth here, as they would say, in on the corners. So, and the bases are loaded here with nobody out. And Jonathan Vieira, the first baseman, in for West. And with a breaking ball, and Vieira swings through it for strike 1. And a nice job by Vieira. He's going to shoot one into the gap in between the first baseman and second baseman. And 2 runs will score. And as they say, a nice piece of hitting by by Vieira.
Again, not a hard hit ground ball, just in the right spot.
Yeah, just put it in play. So Driggs will score and Jacobs will score for the second time. And West will have extended their lead now to 4-1 here in the top of the second. And still nobody out. Nestor goes from first to third on the hit, so runners at first and third. And the old fake to third, throw back to first play, which only works when somebody says that never works.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say that, well, that never works, and the next time it happens, it works. So I'm going to say that never works. Fastball away. Center fielder Harrison Vinson for West takes ball 1. Fastball in there for strike 1. West guys and a lot of guys like to get right up on that plate. And there it was, and it didn't work.
No.
Dang it, I thought I had it.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent here's he's right up on the line.
He is.
I don't know where that one missed at.
I know, it's 2-1 there, but that pitch was very close to the inside part. He's standing right on the edge of the plate. And fastball away. 3-1 now to Vincent. Good fastball there by Hamd, and now the count is full. You just got to be willing to throw it in there. And sometimes you're as a pitcher, you're afraid that the inside part when the guy's so close, but you just got to say, if you want to stand that close, you could get hit. I mean, it's that simple.
Getting that third to first.
There's third to first. That never works. And there's a line drive past Martinez at first. And the throw is going to come into Easley at second. Nestor is going to score Jonathan Vieira moves to third base, and Vincent is on with a single. Damian Bridgman, West third baseman, next up. But still, nobody out here. Runners at first and third. West has them on the merry-go-round. And Jacob needs to find something to kind of stop the bleeding. Breaking ball in the inside part. Taken for a ball. Yeah, James, there is a lot of color. A lot of different colors across the way there at that middle school track meet. The purples and the reds and the greens.
Yeah. A lot of kids.
A lot of kids. And the parking lot is full. In fact, we were walking down here and I heard somebody saying, there's no place to park. He was talking on the phone. You're just going to have to park in front of the school. So a lot of stuff going on. Breaking ball is somewhere, but not a strike. Not sure where that was at, James.
No, that looks, like that pitch that rung up Cooper. They're on the inside.
Yeah. And there's a ball down Souvenir Alley for a strike. So 2-1 to count on Bridgman. Bridgman, the seventh batter up to this inning for West. Oh, and it hit the base. So a tailor-made ground ball up the middle hits second base and pops up into center field. And Jonathan Vieira is going to score. Vincent moves to second, and Bridgman is on with a base hit.
Coach Walker was going to go out there and check on Joe, and Joe said, I'm good. Get off field.
Yeah. And there is a factor of good fortune in all athletics, and that was one of them. It's going to make it 6-1 West, and Jeremiah Jones is up, right fielder, and still nobody out. Ham with a beautiful breaking ball for strike one. That breaking ball is low. Allegedly.
It definitely looks like that.
Allegedly,
our
it
strike
was
zone's a little bit smaller.
Hit. And another bleeder. Ham's going to come up with it. He's going to take the out at first. And Jones will be out. But that will move Vincent to third and Bridgman to second. Jones is out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Gavin Gibson, second baseman, up for West. Well, we got an out, but there are two runners in scoring position. And the squeeze play, they're going to flip it home. And he's out.
That's a good play.
They're going to call the runner out at home. For the second out. So the squeeze is unsuccessful. And the guy that started it all off here in the top of the second, Johnny M., steps in. Runners at first and third. And there's a nice fastball for a strike. That's what we're used to for Jacob. You stay right there.
It seems that's about the only strike call he's getting.
That is, and there's another one. He just needs to pound that outside edge. And this one about 6 inches further outside than the last one, and he'll strike Mr. Johnny M out. There's a foul ball. And a curveball freezes them, and that's going to be a strikeout for Jacob Ham for the third out of the inning. But West is going to strike 5 times here in the top of the second to take a 6-1 lead into the bottom half. We'll be back in a second. We're back here, bottom of the second. Easton Royal is going to step in, shortstop for Heritage. He's going to lead it off. Wyatt Easley.
No, it'll be Jacob Ham on deck.
Jacob Ham is on deck, sorry. And Wyatt Easley will be in the hold. And so Jacob Ham, pitcher, will be on deck with Easley. And Royal's going to jump on the first one, sending the center fielder way back. That's going to be tracking. That's down and to the wall. Easton is on his way to second with a first pitch leadoff double, and that's the way you answer a 5-run inning.
Come out, stand up double. You know,
he gave it a ride. That ball really carried. In fact, I thought for a second
it might have a chance.
It might have a chance, and then I thought a chance that Vincent might get underneath it, but the ball carried all the way to the warning track, and Royal is in at second with a leadoff double. And there's a ground ball at short. That's going to get by him. And they're going to hold Royal at third, but back-to-back hits. And Heritage has got something moving, James, right here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, this is definitely great. You know, something great to see here. You know, come out swinging, putting bats on the ball, and, you know, start trying to fight back.
Yeah, I think the aggressive piece, and it's early. I mean, there's surely enough time to score, enough outs left, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a basketball coach. There's enough time to get back in this one. And there's enough outs to get back in this one. Wyatt Easley is going to step in. Wyatt's playing third base for Heritage today. There's another base hit. Easley's going to score. Easton Royal's going to score from third, and that's going to put runners at first and second, and 3 consecutive hits for the War Eagles, and they're on their way back.
West will have a little powwow out there after the 3 hits.
So Thatch Dover will step in for Heritage. He's behind the dish, as you guys say. I don't know all these terms.
We'll get you there.
So Jacob Ham is at second, and Wyatt Easley at first, both with singles. Thatch Dover, nobody out. And the bunt is placed beautiful down the third base line. He bobbles it, and he's going to run through the... So nice bunt and a beautiful job with the sacrifice. Is going to move Jacob Ham to third and Wyatt Easley to second, and it's going to bring
Let's
up
see
Cooper.
it right here. He might have gotten by a step, but that was a heck of a bunt and a heck of a run by that.
And a nice job by Bridgman, who was crashing hard on the bunt, and he even bobbled it, but he got it there.
Now we got Cooper Mann stepping in.
Man, the victim of a questionable inside pitch. Take a breaking ball for a strike on the outside part, not something you want to swing at the first pitch. Geiger has done a nice job mixing it up, but he's not been untouched either. So questionable here. There's a line drive at Jacobs at shortstop. He drops it.
He dropped it, and
His runners at second and third hold. The throw to first base, the first baseman was about a foot and a half off the base when he caught the ball. The umpire calls him out, and it's gonna stand. I thought that one was going to be easy, James, because I feel like you just asked the home plate umpire, was his foot on the base? And it was obviously he wasn't. And to defend the field umpire, he can't see it from over there at shortstop. He can't tell if his foot's on the base or not. But the guy at home plate probably could have.
But now you're talking about that's 2 blown calls from the field ump.
Yes.
In this inning. Because you had the ground ball to Eastern Royal to Wyatt Easley at third.
Yeah.
Called him safe. And then that one right there, which are both huge momentum shifters.
But Walker still stands in here with a chance with runners at second and third to cut into this lead. So just and he's going to foul that one back as well. He's going to be down in the count 0-2. Tough call there for Cooper Mann at first. There was obviously a lot of dirt or brown, whatever you call it, between first base and the first baseman because it was an awkward line drive play at the shortstop. And Walker's going to foul that one back as well. But that's athletics, and that's baseball. Back to the pitcher. It's going to be easy for Geiger. There's some jawing going on.
Well, with that, we're going to go to break.
I look right
Well, back here at the top of the third, it's tomfoolery. I can say that because my name's Tom. At the end of the top half or bottom half of the second, some questionable calls, some jawing and jiving at the end of the inning. But needless to say, catcher Levi Driggs steps in against Jacob Ham, takes ball one. We're in the top of the third. A lot of stuff going on here. 6-2 the lead for West. Lots of excitement, we'll say.
And I'm just going to take a guess that the excitement is not over for this game.
Here's a drive at Cooper Mann out in center field. Looks like he's got a beat on it. And one out. Diggs with a nice cut, but right at Cooper Mann for the first out. Caden Jacobs, who's walked and singled and scored twice already in this one, steps in with one out. He's going to swing at the first pitch. He's going to drive.
And it looks like Jacob Lees has got
Jacob Lees to the warning track, but a good job by the Heritage outfielders turning and running. And Lees is going to haul it in for the second out. Not an easy play there, James.
No.
And he made that look relatively easy, but not an easy play there fighting the sun. And right-handed hitter to a right fielder can have a lot of spin.
And it looks like, things to right center, right fielder are going to carry and
yeah,
be able to just stay on top, track it well.
So that one carried to the 365 sign, but Lease is going to haul it in. Eli Nestor, left fielder, steps in for West. Two fastballs on the inside part are both called balls. 2-0. Nestor flied to right field and scored in the second. He was a part of that. I wouldn't want to call it a hit barrage of the second inning. It was more like a
Power bunt.
Like
Barrage.
It looked more like a wiffle ball game really than a baseball game. But needless to say, the ball was in play, and West leads 6-2. But that's baseball. Adversity.
Yeah, just got to keep, dig down, keep fighting.
And a fastball there. Nestor swings through or fouls it back. And that's going to make the count full with two outs here in the top of the third. So a quick inning would be something really, really good for Heritage. And there's a shot at Wyatt Easley. He's going to knock it down. It's like my older brother would say, if you're a third baseman, you know what your chest is for? Knocking down baseballs.
Exactly.
And with that, that's going to be a 1-2-3. And we're going to go to the bottom of the third.
All right, and we're back going to the bottom of the third with looking at Boston Graber, JoJo, and Ronnie. Due up for the War Eagles.
Still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
Just, again, an aggressive approach here by War Eagles. Several straight hits and a run last inning. Geiger has went the distance for Bentonville West. Breaking ball out for ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, and War Eagles can keep putting up zeros in the top half of the inning, come out and put up a couple runs in the bottom half. Next thing you know, you get a tie ball game.
Graber doubled in the first inning. RBI. Drove in Joe Walker for Heritage's first run. That's ball outside 2-0. Graber.
Can't tell if he's tracking it or not.
Yep. And Jeremiah Jones is going to haul that in, the ball to right field. He gave us the balls in the sun look, but he did find it. So Graber's out for the first out of the inning. Jojo Martinez steps in. Cleanup hitter and first baseman for Heritage. Martinez popped out to the first baseman in the first inning. Martinez is going to take that one in the left shoulder. And going to go on down to first base. So a base runner, and it looks like a treat from...
Yep, you get 2.
You get 2 if you get hit.
One for getting on base and one for the owie.
There you go. Well, all right. So Ronnie Acosta, the DH, steps in for Heritage.
You know, we talked about it for free throws. Maybe you should start doing that for charges.
I like it. We do have coupons. You get a cheeseburger if you take a charge at Heritage. So Acosta is going to take a hack, and that one's way up, and it's going to be out of play here behind home plate.
Nope, there it is.
Right on top of our head. So a runner at first base, 1 out. 0-1 the count on Acosta. And that ball is outside. Breaking ball misses out. James, just a matter of, just put runners on base. I mean, it's just find your way on and get yourself back in this one.
Yeah. One run at a time.
It's a fastball. Catches a corner for strike 2. And a breaking ball, and that is going to put Acosta down on strikes. Swing and a miss. Easton Royal doubled last inning and scored. I mean, I'm trying to find a term to say what that is. Is it? I mean, we used to say that one's in the dirt. I mean,
It's still in the dirt.
It's still in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
we didn't change it with
we
the
didn't
turf.
change that term.
No.
It's in the turf, we might call it.
Yeah. Down.
But ball 1. Royal pops one up, and that's going to get out of play, and that one might hit us on the head as well.
Yep.
And it does.
I mean, that's a solid thud up
That
there, too.
was. I think that put a dent up there somewhere. So 1-1 the count here. Martinez on at first with 2 outs.
You know, we were talking about all the weather. They missed the opportunity to replace all them baseball dents with all the hailstorm that came through.
No kidding. Royal swings through for the second strike. Breaking ball fouled back again.
So this is one of those matchups that's great because I was telling you, I coached Geiger, who's out there, but also coached Easton. They were on the same team, on the same travel ball team for a couple of years.
There you go.
So they know each other pretty well.
Spent a few long summer days together, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Royal pops that one up. It's high and in the infield. The first baseman is tracking, and Vieira will make the catch for the third out of the inning. So no runs. We leave a runner. Martinez hit by pitch, but with that, 6-2 West going to the top of the 4th. We're back here at the top of the fourth. Jonathan Vieira, first baseman for West, is going to step in against Jacob Ham, who's went the distance. And as we were talking during the break, James, he's done a nice job.
Yeah, he has. There's nothing. I think we were talking about it. One hard hit ball.
And the fastball for a strike.
Everything's been little soft ground, like power bunts.
Power bunts.
Or little bitty flares. That's it.
And we spoke too soon because that's a base hit up the middle. And Jonathan Vieira got all of that one past Ham and over the second baseman's head for a single. Harrison Vincent, center fielder, next up for the Wolverines. And you got to give, Bentonville credit for being so creative of being the Tigers and the Wolverines.
Yeah.
Squares to bunt, and he's going to take that for a strike. Because there are a lot of Tigers and Wolverines in Bentonville. I mean,
yeah, there's
if you drive around town and through the city streets, you'll see those, roaming around.
Yeah, you're more apt to see a bear than a Wolverine.
That ball's taken inside.
At least we can say, with the War Eagles, you do see bald eagles around here.
We do, and War Eagle is a part of who we are here, East Rogers, around the water. I mean, it was here before we were here. And there's a shot up the middle. It's going to get through to Cooper Mann in center field. Jonathan Vieira is going to hold at second, but that's going to be a base hit for Harrison Vincent. So back-to-back hits for West, and they got something moving here in the fourth inning. Damian Bridgman. I have to bring this up. Junior Bridgman was like one of my favorite basketball players that I ever played way back in the day. And he just passed away a month or so ago. And an NBA player who was probably, when he passed away, the richest NBA player that ever lived. Well, nice play by Martinez and Dover are fighting over that one, but we're going to get an out for the first out. So Damian Bridges is going to pop out. He said that Bridgman's worth was like over $1 billion.
That was a lot of money, especially back then.
Well, it was after, I guess.
Oh, after?
He owned Wendy's and a bunch of stuff that you'd never imagine. But anyway, that's besides the point. Bridgman pops out to the catcher. For the first out. Had an opportunity there, just couldn't hang on the ball. Vieira back in safely, but just barely. Jeremiah Jones steps in. Jones has singled and grounded out to the pitcher.
Fouled off the Thatch's mask there.
Right there, that's one of them, what they say, knock the cobwebs out. Curveball there, it's going to be a strike one, but Thatch is going to pay the price for that one. Oh, 1 to count. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Jeremiah Jones up for West. Fastball outside. 1-1. Like to see one of those little two hoppers right at Easton Royal right here, James.
Oh, it'd be great. Let's roll a double play here, get out of it, and let's get back to hitting.
Fastball out. 2-1. Martinez expecting a possible bunt, playing in on the green turf.
That was a beautiful curveball.
Curveball froze him for strike two. Counts 2-2, 1 out. And another curveball, and that's going to get foul, barely. 2-2. It's Harrison Vincent at first and Jonathan Vieira at second. And the fastball, and he went chasing for a strikeout. That's the second out. Gavin Gibson. He set him up with the curveball there, James, didn't he? And then went out with the fastball.
Yeah, and both those curveballs seem to be in, and so then he got him chasing and trying to reach out there.
Yeah, nice job by Jacob Ham, again, who's pitched very, very well. His score is not an indicator of how well Jacob Ham has pitched. Fastball outside. These are one of those situations that my little baseball coaching experience was that guy at first base is not paying attention at all. And a back pick here could end the inning. Throw to second, he's back easily.
And you just got to make sure your first baseman's on the same page.
Exactly. It's got to be a setup call, and it's like, okay. We used to call it yachty. And a fastball way out. But Gavin Gibson is going to take a hack at it for strike one. Fastball misses out. 2-1.
Was he trying to catch it?
I'm not really sure. He stuck his hand out there like he was going to get hit by it or something. But that curveball finds the zone, and that's strike two. Fastball fouled into Souvenir Alley. The count remains 2-2. He does have the leather gloves on.
Yeah, I still don't think I want to catch one, though.
I mean, I guess they're all leather gloves, but those are like the ones you work in your yard with, and that curveball is going to strike him out for strike three. And another nice inning for Jacob Ham. Gives up a base hit and another base hit, but then comes back and gets the next three. That's 6-2 West as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Back here in the bottom of the fourth. And Jacob Ham, who's done a really, really nice job pitching the ball, is going to step in and lead off for Heritage. Wyatt Easley will be on deck with Thatch Dover, the catcher, in the hole. Ham drives one into left field. Nestor looks like he's got a beat on it, and that's going to be out number one for the War Eagles.
You know, it seems like some of our last couple hit or bad, balls that we've hit, just getting underneath them.
Yeah, and I think it, and nothing against William Geiger. I don't want this to sound negative at all, and he's done a really, really nice job. But he doesn't throw extremely hard. And I think sometimes those guys are harder to hit. When you're seeing guys that have thrown with a little more velocity and you see this crafty right-hander, it's been kind of hard to really square him up.
Yeah, no, he has done a good job. I mean, he's using his
Well,
pitches.
he can probably, as youth coach, he has everything to, the guy he played for when he was younger is probably why he's having all this success.
Well, what's bad is whenever I was coaching, I took a lot of what Coach Wynn and Coach Walker taught me, and these kids know it.
Yeah, and then you let him go to another school. So 3-0 the count. He's going to take that fastball for a strike, 3-1. Easily singled in the second and was stranded at third. It's going to take strike 2, so the count's going to be full here with 1 out. And that ball is high and inside. Easily he's going to lead off, he's going to go to first on a walk. So the first base runner for Heritage with 1 out, Thatch Dover, sacrificed and was out at first on a very close play. The guy I want to call Thatcher Dove all the time. Throw over to first. Easley's back easily. Easley's back easily. Pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Vieira there, nice job with the pick because the ball was in the turf. Fastball in there for a strike.
Just out in front of that
Dover
one.
swings through that one. And again, Geiger just seems to have the Orioles a little off balance, just not able to square them up. 0-2 to count with 1 out here. And that fastball is outside, barely, just missed.
We were talking to him, just talking to some of the hitters, over the time. It's like almost going to a slow pitch softball like mode.
Yeah.
Wait till that thing is really uncomfortably close.
Exactly. Inside there with a fastball. So 2-2. So Thatch has done a good job evening the count. Fastball in the outside part, catches the corner and strikes out Dover for the second out. The home plate umpire is a little delayed on his strikeout calls. I feel like he thinks it's obvious.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of holding tight here until we get the call. But that's going to be strike 3 for Dover. And Cooper Mann will step in here. Cooper struck out in the first and was out on a 6-3 putout from the shortstop. Dropped the line drive. Questionable call at first. Curveball taken for strike 1. Safe to say the guy behind home plate is getting lots of help tonight.
Yes.
If he needs some help, there's some people in the stands that will help him. He's just got to ask. And the ball is loose. And Easley's going to be in safe at second. Breaking ball trickled away from Driggs. And Easley's going to go to second. So a man in scoring position to cut this lead in half with a little bingo from Cooper Mann. 1-1 to count. Ball 2 taken out. Fastball outside, 3-1. Geyer might be thinking about taking his chances with Joe Walker instead of feeding one up here to Cooper Mann. But we'll see.
Definitely be nice to see Cooper hit that left center gap.
Coop was taking a cut at it. Ball was a little up. Strike two. Counts full. Now, without a doubt, a ball in the outfield is going to score the runner at second as he'll be off on contact. And just a bit outside for ball four. So man walks, and in steps Joe Walker. Easily at second, man at first. Runner at scoring position. A base hit here would cut this lead in half for the War Eagles as West leads 6-2. Fastball swung through, strike one. Walker files that down the left field line. And a great catch by Damian Bridgman, the third baseman, leaning into the fence for the third out of the inning. So Walker's out, fly out to the third baseman, and that's going to end the bottom of the fourth for the War Eagles with the West up 6-2.
All right, and we're back in the top of the fifth.
Jacob Ham continues, James. Johnny M. steps in, the DH. And an easy one back to the pitcher. And Ham is going to throw a strike to Martinez for the first out.
Yeah, like coming out and seeing one pitch, one out.
Exactly. Catcher Levi Driggs is up next for West. Driggs was on in the second with a fielder's choice and scored and flied out to Cooper Mann in the third inning. Fastball misses. Ham connects there with fastball. Count 1-1, one out. Fastball up, 2-1. So one out here in the top of the fifth. Foul ball, evens the count, 2-2. You stay in the box there, right?
Well, the only deal is they could go back fair.
It could, but I mean, if it hits you out of the box, you're out. So,
Well, that's you would think, but that was one of the calls that got missed last week.
that's right. I got
So
you.
you never know.
Curveball misses in. And the count's full here with one out. Nobody on. And Joe Walker is going to make a diving catch on that looping ball to the right side for the second out. So Dregg's kind of blooper is out number 2. What do you call that? I mean, is it a pop fly? A lazy liner?
Flare?
A flare. We're going to flare to the second baseman.
I don't know. I kind of like the lazy liner.
Any way you say it, it's going to be, we're going to say F.
It's still an out.
F4. Yep. So 2 outs here, top of the 5th. Caden Jacobs, shortstop for West, is in.
Jacob drops that curveball.
He did. Strike. He did. 1-1 to count. A beautiful curveball there. Jacob walked in the first and scored. Singled in the second and scored. And took one for a ride. But Mr. Lease in right field for Heritage ran it down at the warning track. So he's 1 for 3. And a fastball on the outside part, just a bit outside. 3-1 the count. And ground ball at Easley. He's going to gobble that up and over to Martinez for out number 3. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Ham here in the top of the 5th. 6-2 West. We'll take a break.
Back here in the bottom of the 5th.
Time to get something going, James.
No, we might have to start standing up. See if we
That's
can
right.
change
I'm
it
just
up.
going to stand up. I know baseball people are superstitious, and I'm sure the leadoff here, Boston Graber, knows we're both standing up here to give him some added confidence.
You know, and if just hopefully, you know, he's seen it. I guess that one called it the inside of the corner, and for strike 1.
Boston doubled in the first inning, RBI, and flew out to right field in the 3rd. Quickly down 0-2. William Geiger has went the distance for West. He's done a nice job making foul ball. He's all around the plate is what we used to say.
Oh,
you know, get in the box and ready to swing because he's going to give you something to swing at. But he's done a good job keeping the Orioles off balance. And
then he wears that one.
Graber is going to take one in the back. And he's going to, I can see, you know, what's our first base coach?
Coach Wynn?
Coach Wynn. He's reaching in for something. I mean, I got to try this in basketball. I mean, look at that. I mean,
where else do you see a kid that gets super excited to get hit?
No kidding. I mean, hit by pitch, but we're going to the leadoff runner on base, so that's outstanding. JoJo Martinez in for Heritage. Nobody out. Runner on first. Martinez drives one into left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Graber on his way to third, and he's out easily. So Graber hit by pitch, and he's out going to third on the single by Joe Martinez. Martinez ends up at second base. So with one out, Ronnie Acosta steps in.
I think one thing where you'll need to sit back and, we're not in panic mode.
Right, and what do they say? Your first out at third base is Acosta has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging, and he swings and misses there. DHing today. But in the fifth inning, and it was a nice throw. Nestor from West put the ball right on the money and threw out Graber going into third. It was a questionable, it was in between hit. It looked like it was going to get to the wall. It didn't. And with the left fielder moving that direction, made a really nice throw. So Graber's out at third. Ronnie Acosta, 0-1 the account, one out. And a foul tip for strike two. And some base runners, James.
Definitely could use a couple here. Or a long ball. That'd be good too. And Ronnie can do it.
And a hard hit ball at Gibson at second base and over to Vieira. And Acosta's going to be out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. Martinez moves to third on the ground ball. Shortstop Easton Royal up next for the War Eagles. 2 outs. Royal takes a fastball for strike one. Royal 1 for 2 on the day, doubled in the second, and was out on a pop fly to the first baseman in the third. There he drives one to right field. That is trouble. Jeremiah Jones is there. That's going to be off the wall in right field. That's going to score Joe Martinez, and that's Royal's second double of the game.
That was another close one.
Yeah.
I mean, that hit right off. Probably about a foot underneath the yellow back there.
Just a really, really nice job by Easton taking that outside pitch and driving it into right field off the base of the wall. So Martinez is going to single and score, making it 6-3. Royal gets the RBI. Jacob Ham, the next one on the merry-go-round, hopefully. Ball out to right field, hanging up there for Jeremiah Jones, and he's going to make the catch to end the inning. But Heritage is going to get back in and cut the lead in half. 6-3 as we go to the top of the sixth.
I look round and
We're back here. Matt Murray Stadium on Joe Walker Field.
Brian Walker.
Brian Walker. We'll call it Joe.
Eh.
Yeah, let's go with Brian.
Brian's got the 100 wins.
There you go. Eli Nestor for Bentonville West leads it off. Ham has went the distance for Heritage, and he's going to start Nestor off with a fastball and a strike. Still a lot of stuff going on at Heritage. A lot of stuff at the shot and discus rings. And there's another bleeder. And nice play by Easton Royal at short, but one off the handle. And
had to flip around, jump.
A little Tasmanian devil there by our shortstop, but any way you cut it, it's going to be out number one.
I mean, look at this. Sitting there, comes off the handle. Goes back to his arm side. Yep, got to jump and flip.
Yeah,
to glove side.
The wind is blowing that way, and I'm sure that ball was spinning like that.
But I mean, that takes a lot of concentration to stay with it.
You know, I had a guy that played center field that could throw a runner that looked like it was going to second and would go to third. And
That's
you just
weird.
underestimate how much the spin can really do with a baseball game. And that was not an easy play by Easton. And curveball misses. 2-0. Jonathan Vieira, first baseman for West, in the box. He's singled 3 times today. He's 3 for 3, and he scored a run. And he fouls that one back. 2-1. Yeah, he could just put the ball, you just let that ball spin, and that thing would just crazy run. And
they make it hard on third base.
It
coach.
did. It was like he played minor league baseball. He was a much older guy than I is. Played with my older brothers. And he just was a really, really talented baseball guy. And had a big arm. Vieira's going to pop up, and Martinez is camped under it. He's going to make the play in foul territory. So finally we get Vieira out.
Yeah, that's a huge out. You know, if he's been getting on base every time.
Yeah, and he's singled. I'm not sure from an RBI standpoint, but his single came in the middle of one of 4 in a row, so I'm sure he had an RBI too. Harrison Vincent, center fielder, with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball, taken for ball 1.
Vincent's definitely got a lot of movement in the box.
He does. He's got a lot of stuff going on there. Vincent's 2 for 3, 2 singles on the day. Was caught on and there's a shot out into left field. Graber's under it, kind of sinking, and that's going to be out number 3. So Jacob Ham goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 6th. And 6-3 West. We'll take a break.
I looked round
All right, we're back in the bottom of the 6th. Due up for Heritage is Wyatt Easley, Thatch Dover, and then back to the top with Cooper Mann.
There you go, James. Just tell the truth. Just Olsen, get off your cell phone. The game's back
That's all
on.
right. Hey, there's your dad. That's important. He'd get mad.
He's right. He left a message. Easley singled and walked today. Been on base both times he's been up. On base percentage is outstanding. He's going to take a strike there to even the count 1-1.
You know, this is part of the game where as a hitter you got to be disciplined. You know, it's like I was watching the Razorbacks the other day, and they were talking about, you get 3 strikes. The first 2 strikes are for you. The third strike's for the team.
Exactly. It's a good way to look at it.
The first 2, if you take them, it's not your pitch. When it comes to that third one, you got to be swinging, try to help the team out.
And a foul ball. Fouls that one back. The count is full. And this is kind of a tipping point. I was thinking in athletics and basketball especially, this is a tipping point situation right here. It easily gets a chance to get on base here, the full count. You got a good chance of getting another couple runs. And there's a base hit up the middle. And Wyatt Easley in a full count reaches down and gets a base hit. That could be just enough to send the War Eagles into motion. Thatch Dover, catcher, and up next with nobody out and a runner on first. Like to see that leadoff hitter get on, James.
It's always a good thing whenever you start it off that way. Automatically starts putting some pressure on the defense.
Yeah, no doubt. William Geiger has went the distance. Throw over. Back easily. There he is again. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 for Dover. That ball is taken low for ball 1. Ball taken low. And that one was close.
That was, but hey, we'll take the call.
2-1 on Dover. Dover's going to drive one into left field. That's going to be a base hit. And the War Eagles have struck twice, back-to-back singles, and with runners on first and second and nobody out.
And now there'll be a mound visit by the West coach.
And with that, we'll take a break.
All right, we're back after that. There's several changes. We got Keaton Cincinnati in the pitch run for Wyatt Easley. We got Damian Bridgman on the mound for the Wolverines. That moves Jeremiah Jones to third. You got Nestor going from left to right, and then Ben Arnold entering into left field.
Correct. What that does to the batting order, we have no idea.
We'll figure that out as we go.
We'll worry about that in the top of the 7th. For now, Cooper Manup, leadoff hitter for Heritage. Cooper was out on a strike call and lined out to shortstop and was on first. Got on first with a base on balls in the 4th inning. The fastball on the outside part evens the count 1-1. Nobody out here. Back-to-back singles for Heritage. Bridgman steps in for West with looks like a little more velocity than Geiger.
He's got a little bit more, but he also seems to throw a little bit flatter.
Yeah, and I think that everything is what you get used to. I mean, if you're used to seeing guys that throw it hard and then all of a sudden you got a guy that's not quite got the velocity and more movement, it becomes tougher to hit. And vice versa when it goes the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, you start talking about, guys that throw a little bit slower, bat speeds and everything else that just, it all changes.
Yeah. Game of inches, I think, is wrong. It's like a game of fractions of inches.
Oh, yeah.
Man, 1-1 the count with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. And curveball is fouled back. 1-2 now the count on Man. There's a ground ball at shortstop. Jacobs picks it up, the turn, and Cooper is going to beat that one out to first.
That was a good hustle by Coop down the line.
So Coop grounds to short, and he's going to be on with a fielder's choice. Dover is out 6-4 for the first out. Joe Walker next up for the War Eagles. Runners on first and third. 1 out. Coop, a hard guy to double up.
He is.
Ball taken inside.
Yeah.
And a nice play by Jacobs there for West to get that thing started, but Coop just got too much speed. Ball outside.
Joe had 2-0.
Joe fights that one off, 2-1. Down the right side. 71 Business Alley, we'll call that. A little late on the fastball there, 2-2.
I'm with our partners over there as far as Bridgman not coming fully set. He keeps rocking that foot, and then as soon as it stops for, not even a tenth of a second, he's at home plate.
Yeah, it's a balk.
It's a balk. He's held a little bit longer that time. And Joe's fighting to stay alive out there.
Yeah, he does a good job making contact. He's a tough out. Count remains 2-2, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. His ball out to left field. And that ball's down. And Arnold made a play on that. The ball was sinking. Had a chance to catch it. Came up just a little short. Walker's going to be on at first.
And he scores Cincinnati from third.
Cincinnati scores from third, and that's going to make the score 6-4.
And now stepping up is Boston Graber.
And Boston Graber steps in. And 1 out, first and second. A lot of speed there. Cooper Mann at second base. He's got some speed. Walker right there with him.
Big gap in left center right there.
Graber takes strike 1. Yeah, and that's the Sunfield. A lot of depth back there in right field. Fastball outside. 1-1 to count. There's a ball up the middle to Jacobs, and the double play.
Oh. Said he safe at second on that. And Cooper scores. Oh, here's a replay. I mean, even the replay looks like he got around the tag. Good.
So they're going to say that he missed the tag at second base. I got a little choked up there, a little emotional.
Yeah. And that was a heck of a slide by Boston. Heck of a heads-up base running by Cooper to keep going.
Right. And Walker is out on the force for the second out. But Cooper Mann is going to score. Is going to score.
Now it's 6-5.
6-5 West. Ronnie Acosta. So Walker is out at second on the force. Graber is safe at second on the fielder's choice.
And then
Cooper Mann scored, and Wyatt Easley scored earlier this inning for 2 runs this inning, making the score 6-5 here in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th, sorry.
Yeah. Now we need a timely hit by JoJo here.
So Martinez hit by a pitch, singled, fly popped out to the first baseman. Acosta waiting.
Got JoJo stepping in.
And Graber there at second base, which stands right now to be the tying run. Okay, well, there was a mix-up there with the catcher. Catcher's expecting something else. Martinez is going to take strike 1.
Again, huge gap in left center.
Yeah.
If JoJo can just get on time and try to hit the eagle head out there.
Yeah, they are definitely playing Martinez to hit the ball the other direction. Anything that he could turn on is going to be a lot of Yosemite area to cover. Curveball outside. Evens up the count 1-1. That ball is grounded to Vieira at first, makes a nice play. And he's going to step on first to get Martinez 3 unassisted for the third out. But the War Eagles come back. They strike twice. They cut the lead from 6-3 to 6-5. We're going to go to the top of the 7th with West leading 6-5.
I look right
right, and we're back in the top of
You
the
got
seventh.
it, James. We were talking about this. This one's on you. So.
All right. The new pitcher for the War Eagles, number 17, senior Hayden Linton.
Hayden
With
Linton.
that, Jacob Ham goes to third. Wyatt Easley goes to second. Joe Walker goes from second to center. Cooper goes from center to right, and Jacob Lees comes out of the game.
Lees comes out of the game.
So all the defensive shifts between all the teams.
No kidding. You should see this. Good thing I'm writing in pencil.
It's swing and strike one,
Swing and strike one.
and it's Damian Bridgman batting for West.
Thank you very much for that, James, because I was looking at the Heritage. I was going, who is this guy?
Gets that one in there for strike two.
Bridges makes an outstanding play earlier in the game on a foul ball and then comes into pitch, but he's quickly down 0-2. And Hayden Linton looks like he's got a little giddy up.
Just missed inside.
Just a bit inside.
You know, that's a good miss, getting back up, hopefully back up off the plate just a little bit more.
I think that's a good place there, and it looks like Dover moving away for this one.
Just down.
Linton misses down 2-2. Fouled that one back. Fought it off is the best way to describe that.
You know, that's the best for us because that was going to be up. So keeps the count at 2-2.
Yes. Bridges on the day has walked. He's had a single. And he's popped out to the catcher. So he's 1 for 3 on the day. 2-2 to count here. Nobody out. Top of 6. Top of 7. And off the elbow guard. And Bridges gets hit by a pitch. And the leadoff hitter is on for West. Right off the guard.
He looks like he's feeling it through the elbow guard.
Yeah, I don't think he got any little gummy bears or anything for that. That's just a Heritage thing, I think, James.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to have a pitch runner for Bridgman, the pitcher. Let's see who it is. Or not. Oh, number.
Is he in or is he not in?
I guess he's staying in.
All right, he's staying in. Bridges is going to run.
But now
he's running for himself.
Now batting for West is Jeremiah Jones.
Jones is singled. He's walked. I'm sorry, he's singled and he struck out. And he was out on a ground ball to the pitcher. Takes strike one. Bridges moved from right field to third base in the last inning with the pitching change.
I said there's been a lot of defensive changes amongst everybody.
Brayton looks like a slider on the outside part, and Jones, as we used to say, went fishing.
And he came up empty.
He came up empty. That ball ended up way outside. Nice pitch for Linton. Jones down 0-2.
You know, also good job by Thatch getting over, keeping that there so Damien couldn't advance.
Another slider fouled back. Still 0-2. Shadows creeping across the infield. No softball tonight, James.
No.
Well,
it's the week of the Bruce Dean.
That's correct. Yep, that's right. And that starts on Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. And he swings through that. Jeremiah Jones is out on strikes for the first out. The slider got him on the outside part. Gavin Gibson, second baseman for West, steps in. Grounded out in the first, fielder's choice in the second, and struck out in the fourth. Foul on a effort to bunt the ball. Strike one. Big runs, even if we end up on the 6-5 of this one, James, just to get back to one run, how important runs are in tiebreakers.
Yeah, and I just got a text from one of the softball moms that told me that the Bruce Dean starts on Wednesday and Heritage plays Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Yes, he did. He offered for strike two. So always a lot of stuff going on in the spring and beautiful facilities here, and the things are starting to pop with redbuds and dogwoods. Leaves are coming out. Just a beautiful time of year.
Yeah, if we can just keep all the cold weather away.
Amen, brother. And there's a ground ball back to Linton. He's going to be out, and that's a twin killing. Outstanding job by Linton. I can't tell you how difficult that is to be throwing downhill and then have to turn around and throw uphill. And the 1-6-3 for the twin killing, and that's 6-5 West as we go to the bottom of the seventh. Here we go.
We're in the bottom of the seventh.
That's why we come out to the park, James. 6-5. Bottom of the seventh.
Got big Ronnie
Acosta up.
Stepping up to the plate. This is
Damian Bridgman on the mound for West. 6A West Conference matchup. Fastball for a strike. Lots of energy. It's big time baseball right here. Fastball out. 1-1. And there's a drive to left center, way back, and Vincent is going to catch it on the warning track. Acosta gave it a ride, but not quite enough for the first out of the inning. Nice play.
I mean,
by Harrison Vincent there in center field.
He hit it to one of the deepest parts of the park, too.
Yeah, right there at the Eagle Head in left center. But it's going to be just a long, loud out for the first out of the inning. Easton Royal.
Easton's had a good day at the plate.
Easton has doubled twice. And he's flied out. There's a breaking ball for a ball. He's got an RBI. He's got 2 RBIs. No, he's got an RBI, a couple doubles. James, when he hit that from our view, I thought
it was gone.
I did too. No, we just tied the ball game, but it was right there, and give Ronnie a lot of credit. He didn't get cheated. He gave it a ride. Fastball in the inside corner for strike one. 1-1 to Royal. 2-1. Fastball misses up. Jacob Ham waits on deck. Fastball, Easton just a tad late on it, 2-2.
Just missed with that one.
Just a bit outside. He tried to corner and he missed. And full count. Easton swings at a breaking ball, which looked like to be out of the strike zone for strike 2. So Jacob Ham here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The War Eagles down to their last hitter. She looked like a change right there, and that didn't look like a strike. Pardon me, but that would look inside.
He went outside
ball.
his body to catch that one.
There's a
That's gonna get down.
base hit to right field for Jacob Ham. He's going to keep the game alive.
Looks like we're about to have a pitch runner for Jacob here. And it looks like it's going to be number 8, Carter Muth.
Carter Muth
will come into pitch run.
So Jacob Ham, a base hit on the first pitch to keep the game alive. 2 outs.
You know, we got 2 outs. We need Carter to score.
Yes, we do. Easily steps in for the War Eagles. Wyatt is singled, and he's walked, and he's singled. He scored a run. He's been on base all 3 times. Ridgman's going to start out with a fastball. Easily takes for a strike. Breaking ball misses outside. 1-1. Bridgman is a fast worker. Fastball on the outside part is taken by Easley for a strike. The Warriors are down to their last strike. And the curveball is swung through for strike 3 and the 3rd out. And that's going to end the game, James. The 6-5 win for Bentonville West in the first game of 2 tomorrow at West.
And we'll be at West tomorrow, and we'll see how that game goes.
So Bentonville West moves to 6-3 in the conference. Heritage falls to 5-2 and into a tie with Rogers High at the top of the 6A West Conference. Beautiful night for baseball. Great effort by both teams. West just 1 run better, and we will fight another day, James.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next time here at Heritage War Eagle Television.